discussion of the Shamanaphala blueprint, or fruits of the life of a recluse. This is the first sutra that in which this Shamanaphala blueprint is mentioned, but it's mentioned, as I've mentioned before, in probably 10 or 15 other sutras that this exact same blueprint is followed, boom, 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 just sort of within a little bit larger context of who he's talking to, or slightly different emphasis. And so the first one of them is Dhammakaya 2, basically the second sutra of all of them, and that gives basically the Buddha is talking to a king, I believe it is, and he's telling him in answer to a question, I guess, that these are the various fruits of the life of a recluse. This is why someone would want to do that rather than to be a person who owns many things and follows a worldly way of life. So in here, basically in the last episode we talked about the various powers, the psychic powers, and the danger in those. So keeping that in mind, we're now going to continue on. This is after the point where the person gains the ability to achieve the first, second, third, and fourth jhanas, and at that point, then it says, he applies and bends down his mind to the calling up of a mental image. He calls up from this body another body having form, made of mind, having all limbs and parts. He goes on. I'm going to read this from my text here. Just as if a man were to pull out a reed from its sheath, he would know this is the reed, this the sheath. The reed is one thing, the sheath another. It is from the sheath that the reed has been drawn forth. And similarly, were he to take a snake out of its slough or draw a sword from its scabbard, this is an immediate fruit of the life of a recluse, visible in this world and higher and sweeter than the last. So he's talking about this body that is made of mind, that he's called forth as a mental image, and this is the samboghakaya. Okay, so we've got three different bodies here, the three bodies of the Buddha. And it's not only the three bodies of the Buddha or of any Arahant or person who attains full enlightenment, which is to say Buddhas in other places and times, and also the Buddha's disciples. There were disciples at that time who reached the same level as him. From what I can gather, it doesn't sound like Buddhists in general believe that anyone today is an Arahant, because if they were, they would be the next Buddha. This is a different time and a different, to some extent, a different place, depending on where they're born. And so, any Arahant or Arahat, Arahat is Pali, Arahant is Sanskrit, and any Arahant or person who attains full bore enlightenment and can enter nirvana has three bodies, which is to say we all sort of have three bodies in potential, if nothing less. There's the samboghakaya or Bliss Body, which is the astral body for, like astral traveling, basically. Perhaps our dream body, perhaps angels, perhaps ghosts. There's the dhammakaya, which is the law body, or the truth of us. And then there's the mutation body, which is our physical body. Thanks.